But let me tell you, it's good to see a crowd to get involved in something like this, and I wish you would get involved in a lot more. And if you have enough time, I'd tell you some things that you need to get involved in. But he mentioned too that it's really important to me also. You know, when they start telling us we can't have prayer in our schools, can't have prayer in Phil and M's office when they have the county commissioners meeting, that touches a toe with me. Second Amendment touches a toe with me too. I grew up very poor on a farm down east in Martin County and hunted all my life. I can tell you, some of you older guys in here, I had a .22 rifle that had a plunger on it that my dad would let me take squirrel hunting with him, and I would not be able to put a bullet in it until he saw a squirrel. So I know what rights means to people. I know what the Second Amendment means to people, and you can see here today what it does mean. And let me tell you, each sheriff here on night will tell you the same thing. We took an oath to uphold the Constitution, the United States Constitution, North Carolina's Constitution. And that's what we're going to do. You know, the federal government can do a lot of things, but it has to come to Wake County, it has to come to North Carolina, it has to come to the other states. And if it's not a constitutional amendment, it's not something constitutional, and the courts decide that. Unfortunately, there's not a sheriff here that makes the laws. We just have to abide by what they say, and we have to make sure that they're constitutional. And the courts rules on that. And if we have any questions, I brought a guy that knows it better than I do, but I think the best thing probably is to let you know that we're going to do everything we can, and we're going to make sure that we uphold the Constitution of North Carolina just like everybody else does. Your rights means a lot to me. Bearing arms, I have no problem with it. You know, as a sheriff, if somebody says, well, I can't believe that you would want people to have concealed carry. Believe me, we don't have problems out of the good folks. I can tell you that. I'll try to get it in my mouth in a minute, I guess. But seriously, that's something that we seem to forget. The good people is not the ones causing these problems. And there's a lot of other things other than guns out here that's causing problems. Right. It's our discipline in the home and everything else. And I'm not going to get on that. I'm like Mr. Taylor, I'm not going to get wound up on it. But that's what the problem is. I remember I used to go to a small school, Bad Grass High School. Some of you may know where it's at in Martin County. Used to carry my gun to school because I went bird hunting after school and squirrel hunting after school. But now you can't do anything. So what do they expect? But I'm going to tell you, I'm here to answer your questions. I'm assuring you that we're going to do whatever is the right thing to do by law, by the Constitution. I'm going to turn it over to whichever one wants to speak first.
Thank you, Sheriff. It's a pleasure for me to be in Wake County. I grew up just outside the Wake County line, a small community called Social Plains. Same as Donnie was saying, there have been guns in my house ever since the day I was born. They were never behind a lock and key until a few years ago. My daddy had a 16-gauge shotgun over the door in the living room on 4 horseshoes. 2 were nailed to the wall and the other 2 were turned where it held the gun. 3 of us grew up there, older brother, a younger sister, myself. Nobody never touched that gun without the permission of my father. That's how simple it used to be, people. Now he's got grandchildren, and I have no idea in the world where that gun is. But it's not doing him any good where it's at, because he's 84 years old. And the people robbing from him and taking from him are not 84 years old, so he's at a disadvantage. I got a call from a friend of mine about the meeting tonight. First of all, I wanted to make sure he had asked Sheriff Harrison if it was okay if I came. He assured me it was, through Joe. But I get a lot of questions, and I want to tell you, I support the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Actually, since this meeting came, I've got it printed off. It's on my desk. I reviewed it to be prepared for some questions tonight. And I even feel sorry that it took me this to get there to go back. I knew a lot about it, but it reminded me of the program we see on TV, Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? I knew a lot more about it several years ago, so it was refreshing to refresh myself with it. And I want to tell you how I see what we're going to face this challenge with. North Carolina Sheriff's Association is 100 sheriffs strong. Each one of those sheriffs has a lot of support from a lot of people like you. So we're going to work in numbers. You can get any number of sheriffs you want to together, and we're going to agree on a professional level to do what is right. That's our oath, and we go in each meeting and we tell that. The National Sheriff's Association, every sheriff in North Carolina is a member of that. I've heard two numbers, but they're pretty close. 3,080 to 3,085 sheriffs in the United States. We have contacts with them. We network with them. We have lobbyists, and I'm here to tell you the sheriffs that I reached out and talked to before I came here today assured me that just like any other issue that we tackle, we'll tackle it professionally, properly, and as a group to get you, the people that are here, protected from what you want to be protected for. And I really feel that. Thank you.
You won't believe the number of people in this house.
Why are you in town halls right now?
I think Sheriff Harrison and Sheriff Jones have dealing with and talked quite a bit, and I agree with them on that. That's right.
I'm trying to get more
agree with them. Of course, I also know that the sheriffs are constitutional officers. We took an oath. Not only in the United States Constitution, but North Carolina Constitution. So, and I can assure you that all the sheriffs that are in office that I know of, personally, have taken that oath very seriously. But I can also assure you this, you know, as many of us have been told, as a constitutional officer, do you have to obey an executive order? That is not the law, that is not in the Constitution. When that Constitution is made a law, that's where it comes down to your congressman, it comes down to your legislators. When it becomes law, that's what you have to worry about. I encourage you to stay in contact with your legislative members and your congressmen and senators. Now another thing is too, we need to make sure and understand this clearly. As this sheriff in Wayne County, I'm not going to be going around taking up weapons from law-abiding citizens. I don't think any other sheriff will do that either. The day that I'm ordered to do that, I can turn his badge in.